Hey, it's your buddy Tim Schill here, doing another Raid Shadow Legends video, and I wanted to go over the Shard event that's coming up this weekend, and go through some of the champs and kind of decide if it's worth pulling resources to make this event happen. Now, this is happening in conjunction with the Fusion event in a champion chase where they want you to pull shards to get enough points to get these fusions. And it's a 10 times event, and it's a 10 times event with both voids and regular champs, which I thought was interesting. So we'll go through each champ. We'll start with the epics, and then we'll talk about the legendaries, and we'll make decisions based on what the champ brings to the table, and if they're worth making a pull investment. So this is the first one, Whisper. I think that she's probably good back in the day, and has been a victim of the power creep. I don't think she probably brings much to the table anymore with a bunch of one-hitters. And my understanding is she does pretty good damage, but there's so many other champs that do what she does much better. So I would probably pass on her. The second is a new champ, which is an Undead Epic, which is kind of an interesting champion, and I wouldn't mind getting him because I don't have him. But I think the theme of this pull event is extra turns. So I think everybody that you're going to see here has an ability to get an extra turn based on some mechanic of their skill set. But his passive, I think, is the most interesting, right? So he drops below 75%, he increases his defense. He drops below 50, he increases attack. And then when he drops below 10, he gets an extra turn. Hopefully, with all of these multipliers on him. He's got pretty decent attack stats. His HP is low, his defense is low, and his speed is awful. So, he would require some work to get to work correctly. He's kind of a poisoner, and my understanding is he hits pretty hard. He's got a little bit of decreased defense on his 8-1, but it's not a great chance to hit 35%. So, is he worth pulling charge for? I mean, I probably wouldn't pull charge for him. The third one is a dwarf, and I think probably most people have her for their faction wars teams. Galar does, pretty good damage, bunch of single hitters, and shield buffs. She's got terrible defense, but she kind of makes up for that with her shields. Pretty decent HP and speed. It's not terrible for an epic. So, if you don't have her, she's a good pickup, but, pulling for her, I don't think is probably the best idea. The next one, however, I think if you don't have this guy, I think you probably do want him. And he is a Sacred Order champ, and it is our boy Deacon Armstrong, the man in the hat. I call him the Swiss Army champ because, boy, he kind of does a little bit of everything. He brings the speed aura in all battles on 19%, which is, tied with the fastest sort of for all battle speed auras. But this is really where he earns his living. He fills your turn meter and decreases the turn meter of all enemies, and then gets an extra turn on a 3-turn cooldown, which really is a 2-turn cooldown because he's getting this extra turn where he's going right into this, where he drops deep. He's got a big version of the drop defense at 100% rate on a 3-turn cooldown that's just getting cycled by this. So he really can go anywhere in the game, dropping defense and adjusting turn meter. So build him fast, place him in a lead, and let him just keep the enemy's turn meter low, your turn meter high, and defense is down. And if you don't have him, I think he's probably worth pulling some sacreds for. I think it's probably a pretty good chance of getting him if you pull some sacreds. The next one, and he's an orc, and I have 4 of these guys, which was pretty unlucky. Kind of a fun champ. I don't think he's worth pulling for. The issue with him is his defense is so low, and his speed is like an uncommon speed. I think it's unfortunate that to get him fast enough takes a lot of work. But he's basically a stun champ and gets an extra turn if he stuns on this A1. He's got a 50% chance. The one I have built out, I've seen him go 3-4 times in a row as he runs around and stuns people. And one of the videos I was thinking about probably making is building out 2 or 3 of these guys and see if I could stun lock a team and just run around. Now, the interesting thing about this also is he does unbelievable damage. My understanding is Trunda type of damage for enemies that are under stun. So it'd be interesting with 2 or 3 of these running, if they stun a few of them and then the other ones hit with this Merciless Assault, if that's just an OP combination. So I think I'll probably look at that at some point. But I'm not going to obviously pull for him. In fact, I'd be a little upset if I got a 5th one, because I wouldn't know what to do with that, and I refuse to feed a legendary. So the next one is another Knight Reverend. And this guy, I think, is 1 click away from being just S tier. He's got a really, really good kit. He just has some cooldown issues, right? So he's got a 3 hitter with reduced speed. If it's critical, so you build him with some crit. He does good damage, and really, really nice A1. His A2, he'll place poisons. He'll place up to 4 poisons if it's crit, and damage based on attack, and he can buff that out to darn near 25 and 75, so 95%, 100% chance with him booked on a 3-turn cooldown. Very nice poisoner. But the problem is this: he decreases the turn meter of all enemies that have less than 50% HP by 100%. Right? Great ability, right? He has 80% chance of placing a 50% decreased attack buff on all enemies for 2 turns and 80% chance of placing decreased defense, right? Unbelievable. He'll get an extra turn if the enemy's turn meter is decreased. So if they're under 50%, he decreases their turn meter. He'll hit these other buffs if your accuracy is high enough, and he'll get the extra turn, right? But the problem is it's on a 5-turn cooldown, and if he doesn't do that, it stays on a 5-turn cooldown, and even if he does do it, it's on a 4-turn cooldown, and there's other champs that do very similar things on a 3-turn cooldown, even Epic type champs. I mean, maybe not exactly or as well, but if they put this down to 5 turns, you could book it out to 4 turns and then have it be 3 turns with the extra turn. I think it would make him much more viable. So while he's a pretty cool champ, and I wouldn't be unhappy to have him, I'm certainly not going to pull for him. The next guy I would really like, because I think he's a pretty amazing champ, and that's going to be Jintoro. He's an attack-based Shadowkin, which I guess most Shadowkin are, with really nice attack and defensive stats. Good speed, got some crit rate and crit damage built in. Got a really nice attack aura in the battles, and really, really nice kit. So, big hit, extra turn if you kill somebody here. Got some nice damage multipliers. Probably doesn't need to book that out, though. I mean, 4 books to get an extra 20% damage isn't probably the greatest use of legendary books. This is an interesting one. He's on a 3-turn cooldown, will steal 100% of the target's turn meter. And when he does that, he decreases the cooldown of his next ability by 1. If the target is immune to turn meter reduction effect. So against Dragon or something, or somebody that's not getting hit by the turn meter effect, he'll reduce this, which is a really, really amazing ability. So on a 3-turn cooldown, when you book it out, he'll attack 1 enemy, decrease big version of the decreased defense buff, and a weaken buff, right? Which is probably the best combination of decreased down abilities in the game. Every 4 times he'll attack 5 times instead of 1 on the 4th use of the skill, which is probably only good against bosses. So where you're having many, many turns. But again, if he popped that out, it would be sort of a hidden skill and probably do crazy damage. So am I going to pull for him? No. But I would love to have him at some point. Now the last one is an Undead, and he was probably the guy that people are going to pull for. My understanding is that there's a group of the big spenders that are going to really go after this guy. I mean, I might pull some Sacreds. I think I'll probably pull some Sacreds just to meet the fusion requirements, to make sure. And if I got him, I would be absolutely thrilled. He's got 2 huge passes, right? I mean, you can read them yourself. I'm not going to read all the passes, but he is an unbelievable champion, and I would be thrilled to get him. I don't know if you've ever faced him in arena, but man, oh man, is he difficult to deal with. So that's the video. If please like and subscribe this content, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Be well.